Anybody can say welcome. Do you want me to do it, Sebastian, or you want to go?
Go ahead, Roberta.
Okay, welcome everyone. We're all here learning Winlink together, and we are just your facilitators, and we're learning with you. So the first thing we're going to do tonight is talk about muting until we have a question. So if everybody can please mute themselves, that would be awesome. And then when you have a question or you want to bring up a topic, just unmute to do that. And I still see people still not muted. So if you could do that, that would be great. So the first thing we're going to talk about is who did not have good fortune getting registered with Winlink.
At 8 o'clock, I'll put you to bed, Kay.
Kathy, can you mute? Anybody, did everybody raise your hand if you had luck getting on Winlink and getting registered? Everybody, but I can't see some hands. Some people are not in. Kathy, were you able to get on Winlink? Yes. Okay, she's nodding yes. Great. And Lisa's thumbs up. Vince is clapping. Rick, I think you were already on it. Just give me a thumbs up or something. Okay, then we will move on to, is Ralph with us? I don't see Ralph. He was next on the agenda. So how about we move on, Sebastian, to talking about, well, let's ask for questions. Who has questions generally about what you've learned so far in Winlink? Just go ahead and put your hand down now for having gotten registered, and then put your hand up if you have a question. And Ben has his hand up. Do you have a question, or are you just saying you're good, Ben? KN6 NDM, Ben? Hearing nothing. I think he probably had his hand up that he was good. Anybody else with questions so far with the Winlink and the Telnet registration? All right, then I'm going to turn it over to Sebastian, and go ahead, Sebastian. The next thing on the list is the weather forecast using Winlink.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, so we talked about the fact that Winlink really is this gigantic monster that has a lot of awesome features in it. And one of those is that you can actually use it to pull data from a number of services that are provided. And an easy one to try out is the weather. And this is really just something that you can try out, but it is something that is somewhat useful. So let me share with you how you can do that. That would be this screen. So if you have your Winlink in front of you, you can find in the settings dialog menu an entry that's called Winlink catalog request. And there you can select either WX_US or WX_US coast, and you can find the corresponding weather forecast.
Sebastian, did you have a PowerPoint? Did you mean to share your screen? Because I'm not seeing it.
I don't see it either.
Oh, yeah. That is
sorry
interesting. To interrupt. Valid point. That was the beautiful picture that you guys were supposed to be seeing.
There we go. I got a preview, so I knew what to look for.
You see the full screen, right? PowerPoint.
Pretty much. It's smallish. It takes up about half of mine, but it has the lightning. Yeah, it's pretty much full screen. Yeah.
All right. So you also see my Winlink window now.
Yes.
Perfect. So if you go here under settings and you find the catalog requests, that gives you a dialog. And on the left-hand side, you can look what country you're currently on vacation in. Or if you're here, you can look for the weather in the US. And there is one service in there, if you're lucky, that is for the San Francisco Bay Area. And you say, double click it, it adds it to the selections. You can select multiple. So if you're interested in a whole lot of different weather information, Northern California, Southern California, Oregon, whatever you're interested in, and you can say post request. And you will see that in your outbox, it actually creates an inquiry request for this particular file. And if you say open session and hit start, it actually pulls or sends that email out. It takes a little while to actually get your response back. So we'll talk about the next topic and then come back and actually get our weather forecast response. So the next topic is a follow-up from last session's conversation about Winlink and spam and those prefixes that you can use in the subject line. So, well, we all know that Winlink is amateur radio, so you cannot have any commercial content happening. Now, if you open your inbox and it's anything like mine, there's a lot of commercial content in there that I did not ever ask for. Canadian pharmacies, Mexican pharmacies, princes in Africa, everyone seems to be in business with me. So that would all be illegal. So for you to actually do that, Winlink has a filter system in place. So by default, any email from an email address that you have never had a conversation with, starting with your Winlink address, talking to them, will be banned. And you can whitelist addresses that you want to allow to communicate with you. And the word whitelist is a bit tricky these days. So Winlink doesn't use the word allow list, which is way more common in the industry at this point. But that is basically the trick, that if you want to receive an email address from somebody who has never sent you an email before, they need to include this //WL2K in the subject line of an email for it to pass through that filter. The idea is that the prince in Kenya that wants to do business with you somewhere in Africa doesn't know that, so they wouldn't actually be doing this. You can maintain this list actually. So you can go ahead and send a Winlink email to system@winlink.org with the subject whitelist, and you have a couple of commands you can use. You can say list, and it gives you this list of email addresses that is allowed, that you see on the right-hand side here, upper right-hand side on my screen. So it tells you what your allow or deny lists look like. You can add something to it by sending an email again to system@winlink.org, subject line whitelist, you write in accept and the name you want or the email address you want to allow, and it will be added to the allow list. If you want to reject, write out, say like, listen, I don't want to get emails from, I don't know, my boss. Specifically, I can put him on the reject list and I would not receive those emails anymore. If you just think that that was a little too strong and you want to undo that, you can use the delete keyword and drop them off the list. So that would make them again as if the system had never learned that email address. You can also do that without a specific email address. So if you don't use the prefix in front of the @ but only the domain name, then everything coming from that entire domain name will be accepted or rejected. So you can do that as well. Very handy feature is that you can actually update the entire whitelist at once. So you can have a bunch of accept and reject entries. You need one line per entry if you do that, but you can send it all at once and it will update that entire list, and people that are on your allow list will not need to use that prefix. The same goes if you're sending an email from Winlink to somebody, they will automatically be added to your allow list. I think I want to pause here and give you guys a chance to ask questions. No questions? I found that confusing when I read it. Now, there we go.
It's Roberta.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I just want to confirm that if you send an email to someone at their regular email, they will automatically go onto your whitelist. Is that correct?
That is correct. They will always be able to send you an email back without any prefixes that they need to add.
Okay, and then second, if they want to email me and are not on the whitelist, they're the ones that have to put this prefix / WL2K, correct?
That is also
You
correct.
have to tell them that. Okay.
If they're sending an email to you, they will receive an automatic response telling them that they can do that if they need to reach you.
But they wouldn't need to because they've already got an email.
If you send them an email first, yes. But if let's say a friend of yours figures out, oh, you are HA6KN, and they want to send you an email, and they try to enter your Winlink address, it will bounce, and they will get a notification that they need to use this prefix for it to actually be delivered to you. And it will also include information about do not include any commercial information and so on. There's a boilerplate response that they will be getting.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Sebastian, this is Patrick. I have a question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm looking at my Winlink Express window, and under contacts, I have 5. So would my entire whitelist be shown there under contacts?
No, you can have contacts that are not in your whitelist, or for example, and if you send an email to somebody that is just with their regular email address, they will not necessarily be in your contact list. If you want to know what your whitelist is, you need to send an email to system@winlink.org with that subject whitelist and the command list in it.
Okay. Okay, got it.
But they are very likely to be the same ones in that list. All right, so let's see if we got our weather report back in the meantime. So going back to, let me black this out here and go back to Winlink and inbox, open session, we start this, and there are emails coming back, and see there's one from service@winlink.org. So if we download all these messages, we see the one from service, and you can see that in it, it includes the weather forecast. And if you scroll down, you find North Bay, San Francisco area, East Bay, South Bay, and then you find the Monterey Bay area. And in there, you found the forecast for Santa Cruz, for example. So Saturday will be raining, Sunday will be sunny, so will next Monday. And you have the temperatures and all that all in a very condensed format, but you get a weather forecast. If you get the one for the coast, it will include wind and waves and all that. So if you want to go surfing or if you are sailing, that is very, very helpful. All right, that is the weather forecast as well as the allow list. So one thing we talked about is, or that you guys have heard me talk about all the time, is that these digital modes are super cool for creating situational awareness and getting timely situation reports, weather reports, and any other status reports that are essential for managing a larger scale incident. And Winlink actually has a couple of features that allow you to create specific position reports that you can use to render locations on a map. So people that actually try to coordinate everything have a pretty good understanding where everyone is. Because if we're looking for lost people, the last thing we want to do is add people to the list. We would like to know as precisely as possible where you are and how you're doing. So situational awareness is kind of the key thing that we are providing, because we're passing messages on behalf of others. So we can make sure that people in the field are aware of what is happening around them, and that people that actually coordinate the incident are aware of the ground truth and receive all this information. Now, there is a way for you to actually check into a net, including with your location, using Winlink, and I wanted to show you that. So let me go here and we create a new message. Let me make sure we don't get distracted here. So we create a new message and we select a template. In standard templates, there is general forms Winlink check-in, for example. And if you take this form, It will open in your browser and it will include your geolocation. You can select all the additional information and then you just go ahead like we did in the last session. You hit submit. Oh, sorry. Fill this in. And we submit this. And as you've seen before, it actually creates a Winlink message. If I find the message. Come on. Right here? No. Too many windows. There we go. It creates a message that has the location, including latitude and longitude, and that can actually be mapped by the receiving party. So I've received a couple of these check-ins. So for example, Bill just checked in and we can see where he is at. He's at home and we can go to messages. No, I'm always looking for this feature. GPS position reports. No, that's where you send one. Sorry, go back to my slide, helps. Damn, give me 1 second. Lost in this menu structure. Generate maps and CVS file for forms. And you can say, show me the Winlink check-ins. It actually already knows that we have 3 in our inbox, in my inbox. And you can see, I can select a map provider. I'm using Bing for this, but you can select another one. There's also offline solutions available for this. And you can say display map. And it actually generates this beautiful map that you see here, where you can find out exactly where people that have sent these check-in reports are currently located. And you can imagine that that is super useful if you put that on a big screen in a situation room or something along those lines. If you actually happen to have a GPS receiver on your computer, it will pre-populate with your actual location. So you don't actually have to find out where you are. It will just know. You just open your laptop and send that location report, and it will be your actual location. There is one that's recommended on the winlink.org website. That's the one in the link that you see below. It's about $30. Yeah, that is pretty much it on my side. So open for questions. Roberta.
I'm the question meister. Can I just mention that I've done quite a few of these check-ins, and it tends to, once you've done one, it defaults to what it was before. If you don't have a GPS in your computer that's locating you. So you need to have, to go to Maps, Google Maps or something, and determine what your lat and long are, so you can manually put those in if you don't have GPS connection. So I just wanted to mention that, don't always believe exactly what it says if you've used this form before, because I had it show me on the other side of the mountain where I was doing a mobile check-in once. So that's all.
There's also GPS apps that you can run on your phone if you have a GPS receiver that you're carrying along. Anyhow, so yeah, I think that's it. So over to you, Roberta, on how to use your favorite templates.
One other comment I was going to make. If you don't have any GPS, you can still go to something like Google Maps and find yourself if you know where you are, and have it display an approximate latitude and longitude.
That's kind of what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I use that
misunderstood. Yeah.
separate app, Gaia, G-A-I-A, that is, you can just click on it and it shows you the GPS. There's lots of different apps in different ways. But before we move to mine, are there any other questions or comments about this? Please come on down. Can you unshare, please? Or will I boot you?
Yes, let me do that.
I can't.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is there a way to either built in or outside of Winlink to integrate that data with APRS position reports onto a unified map?
You can export it as a CDS file. There is also a way to interact from Winlink with APRS and the other way around. So I can look into that and come back with a response to you that is more sophisticated than that, but there are gateways between the two.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Yeah, I have a
Allison.
question. I checked out my template manager and it's empty basically. Is that the natural way of things that you populate it with your own stuff?
Yes,
Or can you download templates?
that's what we're going to talk about right now.
Ah, very good.
I anticipated that coming up. All right.
Great.
So before we move on,
Roberta,
yes,
FYI, we're seeing the presenter's view.
what does that mean? Oh,
It means we see the notes in the next slide.
oh, shoot.
Also, I think Stefan has his hand up, or maybe he put it down
Yep.
already.
No, as far as that Winlink check-in, it looked like it had Latin long and MGRS and grid. We would just, I mean, for me, I could just use my iPhone. It'll show the position, right? The Latin long. If I happen to be mobile with my Winlink system, I can just use that or the Latin long and not fill out the other stuff, the grid and the MGRS.
Yeah, that's fine. You just need to
Okay.
type it in manually.
Yeah.
Hey, Roberta, I think if you
Yes.
go under display settings, I think it lets you pick which window's which.
Here or
Up top there in the middle?
display settings?
Yeah, if I remember right. It's been a while since, there you go. Do that top one.
Well, oh, thank you. Okay,
Excellent.
that's why you had your hand up, Don. Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments, please? Thank you, everyone, helping me out.
Yeah, so I actually had one more question on the position report because I only used it once or twice today. It looks like you can put in either degrees and minutes and decimal minutes, or degrees. Can you do just degrees with a decimal point after it and do decimal degrees? I don't know. But converting to degrees and minutes is not going to be that easy from, unless you have a calculator handy.
A valid point. I haven't tried that.
You can just put in, the Latin long with the decimals, and you can choose which one, somewhere in settings, you can choose which one you want, minutes or decimal, I think. And if it wants minutes, it converts it itself. I had that happen. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can just put in 37 decimal 342 and minus 121 decimal 534. And if it needs it converted, it'll convert it. I had that happen on a net.
And not to insult anybody's trigonometry recollection, but if you don't know, a minute is 1/60th of a degree.
I didn't know that. I had no idea what it meant. I just know they converted it for some reason.
And a second is 1/60th of a minute in angles. And it's an old system going back to the Babylonian mathematicians.
All right. So,
Enough of that.
all right. So we're going to talk about templates. Excuse me. And I think everybody can see my screen now. I'm going to minimize my people here. Sorry, I've got a different screen going and I need to undo it because I couldn't see Sebastian's screen. Uh-oh. Am I back? Can you guys see me?
I'm seeing the
presenter
presenter's view.
Now it's not letting me.
Yeah, it's ghosted.
Okay, I'm gonna try it again.
Jane Tyler, or one other.
It's not letting me swap now for some reason.
I'm in my meeting.
Maybe I better.
Roberta, how many windows do you have? How many displays? Do you just have the one display?
Well, I had a big monitor behind me because I couldn't see Sebastian's, and when I unplugged that, it went back to presenter.
Okay.
But then my mouse,
Can you try the end slideshow? Did you already try that end slideshow and then hit the F10 to start it again?
I think this will work. I'm just going to keep the other monitor
Okay.
on.
All right.
Was it
I
going
might
to
have
work?
to do, there you go. Do the display settings again, I think. There. One more time, maybe? We're really having problems with this tonight. Oh, it's really
Let me
not.
give it a minute.
Heck
Maybe,
no.
maybe
Is
go out and
there a
back in.
chance that you are sharing the presenter view right now as a window? Can you just stop sharing and reshare again? Yeah, and try again.
I unplugged my separate monitor.
There we go.
All right.
Oh,
All right. Moving on. Templates. That's what Allison wants to know about. Okay. So I will go through this in Winlink after this presentation, but I wanted you to have it on the slides and as printout that you could refer to. So I did a quick PowerPoint. So you're going to go to the message tab and then down to set favorite templates. You can see that on the screen there. Now, this is to add your favorite templates to the message menu bar, and I'll show you that, what I'm talking about in a moment. You can choose up to 4 templates to go across the top of your message bar. And you're going to choose the browse button and then choose whatever template is that you want. And I'm going for an ICS 213 here, so I'm showing you how you click on those. And then there's my ICS 213 under the ICS USA forms. So you double click on that form and it will automatically insert it into the file name under that set favorite templates. So there you can see where it's under file name, and you type in the name up top as to what you want the display to say. So I put in ICS 213 or 213, and then you're going to click save. Got to click save. And then you do the same thing for any others, the check-in form, whatever you want. And then just change your display, and you can have up to 4 of these. So now you can see if I had clicked message, new message, you see next to select template, it says ICS 213. That's my favorite right there, that one of them that I just added. Now I added this under Mark's call sign because mine's already populated and I wanted to have a blank screen. So now I have that ICS 213 there. Whoops. Like you, Bill, you can't touch this computer. All right. So now I'm going to do a run through in Winlink to show you exactly how that works. So now I'm going to go to Winlink, and just for fun, I will show you under my messages, new message. You see, I have 4 different favorites up here: general message, Winlink check-in, current weather, and information. And these all come from different nets that I'm in that I do over and over and over. So I want them quick. If I did not prepare tonight how to set up this part under your name, because I thought we'd have enough questions by the time we get to nets. But you can also set up multiple lists here under your own name or your own call sign with various templates. So I want you to know that too. So you're not just limited to 4 that you could quickly access, but 4 on that main menu up here. All right, I'm going to switch to Mark. And we're going to get our little alert that we're supposed to pay for the registration. Remind me later. So, message, down to set favorite templates. And there's our ICS 213 that we just did. So let's do another one. We're going to click on Browse, Standard Templates. Let's go to General and let's do a Winlink check-in since we were just talking about that. And I'm going to double click on it. So now you can see I have that there, but I need to put the name. So I just type in check-in and save. So now when Mark wants to send a message, he has these two options available and up to 4. Any questions so far about this? I can't see, so you're going to have to just talk because I minimize
Looks
it.
good.
Roberta,
Yeah, yes, Lisa.
will you make a new message and then select one of those so we can see what happens?
Sure. Message, new message. Let's do a Winlink check-in. And I just single clicked it. So you got to give it a minute. Doesn't move super fast. Okay. And this looks like what I sent to Sebastian. So you know how I said that it kind of saves what you did previously? And that's exactly what happened. This is the last Winlink check-in that I sent, was the one I sent to Sebastian. But it's not completely filled out, as you can see. It has, you still have to enter your call sign and your station contact name. Well, I guess the station is really Mark. And Home Ham Shack. And this Latin Lounge is correct because I checked it. And then I can write comments here. And scroll down.
Before you hit submit, I have
Yeah,
the answer to the
okay.
question earlier about the latitude and longitude. So
Yeah.
you can put in latitude and longitude as the decimal, as we see here with the decimal point, or you can put it in with degrees minus minutes with a decimal point, or you can put it in as degrees minus minutes minus seconds, and then that should actually work just fine.
Right. Yeah, I think no matter what you put there, as long as it is a valid method, they can convert it to what they need to put on the map. And since we're here, I wasn't going to talk about this tonight, but we're just speeding along, zooming along. So let's talk about saving check-in data. Okay, this button right here. Now, if I were going to hit the submit button right now, if I hit the submit button, it would automatically go for me to post it to my outbox. But maybe I'm going to want to do this again and just change my Latin long. Maybe I'm mobile and I want to show the different places I'm going. Then I can save this and I click on save check-in data. And now it asks me, you know, what is it I want? And I'm just going to leave it like that. Say, okay. Now, the trick is you have to remember to still submit it. Sometimes I've saved it and then X'd out and I lost my email and I have to start over. So remember to hit submit. Okay. And then you remember we need to close this window. And now here's my message going to Sebastian again. And I'm going to send a copy to Karen. Okay, she wants to know where I am. Okay, and post it to the outbox. And there we have it. All right, you can see right here, I have one item in my outbox. Now, let's pretend I already sent that. We'll just send them both at the same time. But let's say I want to send that again, but I'm going to change my Latin long. Let's say I moved and I'm going to change my position. And I want to periodically report that to Bob, say. So I'm going to click message, new message, Winlink check-in. Now I'm going to load check-in data. That's where we load the information that we saved previously. So here we are. You choose it. It goes to your downloads file. So it just pulls it right up from your downloads file, at least for me. And that's easy for me. And double click, and there it is. Now you notice everything is identical to before. So I'm not just going to send it again like this because something's changed. Now I'm just going to make this up, 0310 and 9600, let's say. I moved. And now I will submit that. I'm not going to save it again because I already have a basic template that's filled out that I can use over and over again. One more thing I should do though, before I do that, is change my time. This is important too. You want to change your date, time, and your lat long if that's what you're changing in the message. Otherwise, it'll just keep showing the same time as you originally saved. So all I have to do is hit enter and it'll update my time. Okay. I'm going to hit submit. Okay. And I'll send this to Karen too. Post outbox. All right, so now I have 2 in my outbox, and I'm going to go ahead and open a session. And you all know how to do this now because you're pros at Telnet. Hit start, and we see our 2 messages. We have our FQ. I always want this FQ right here, and we are disconnected. So I can do that. Can I just ask a question? How clear is my Winlink coming through on your screens? Because I was having trouble seeing Sebastian's. Are you able to see really what I'm doing?
Very clear.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Then I'm
it's
gonna,
nice and big.
good. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do that position report. I've never done this, so let's do that together. The generate maps.
Roberta,
Yes.
I did want to ask a question. If you put those 4 shortcuts on your menu, I noticed that the post to outbox and things like that on your version, not Mark's, was off screen. So do you have to maximize it to be able to get to that post to outbox function?
I never do it that way. I never
Just
use
hit,
that.
you just,
I just use these. I do my template. I go through my message, and it doesn't even allow me to make it bigger. See how that's out right there?
So how it just by closing it is creating the post to outbox?
Okay, so remember when we do this, we go to Winlink check-in. So we have no opportunity to do the post to outbox there. So come here, I'm just going to send, I'm going to go ahead. I'll just do this again so we have a little practice on loading. We'll go ahead and load the check-in data again. This one. I'm going to change my time. And third time, just for fun. Just so we have some to look at on a map. I have no idea where I'm going to be when we see this. Could be
You
in
might
Arizona.
be swimming with the fishes.
Yeah, and I'm going to
send it to me.
Yeah, too late. So I've already, I'm ready to hit submit. So this is when I'm going to hit submit and then post to the outbox. And I don't use that other screen to post. Well, I do, but let's see.
See, that's where I was kind of getting stuck, is right here.
How come I never had that happen before?
Just hover over the border on the right-hand side, then and drag down your mouse and extend it to the right.
Ta-da!
Make the window bigger.
There we go.
Okay.
That's a real high-tech answer. Post outbox. There we go. All right.
Okay. That was my fear, is that, I was going to say, I put all these shortcuts and I don't have post outbox. How do I do it? Okay.
I never had that happen. I must have accidentally closed it, or maybe when I was in his, it made it shorter. I don't know.
Yeah.
But now I've posted that one under AJ6KN, so who knows what's going to happen. Most people don't have more than one call sign in their box. But I'm going to go back to his, because we know we have 2 there, and go down to this generate maps. Now, I've never done this before. We're doing it together. So can you unmute Sebastian in case I mess up? And looks like I need to select a form now.
You have to receive a report. Let me send one to you.
Oh, I see. You have to do it because I sent it to you. Okay, so I need to send I already sent it. Okay. Anyway, you guys saw that already. You don't necessarily need to see it again. So I can look at my own report, I guess. Any questions about those favorites? Or comments or anything like that?
I'll probably have questions after I try it myself this week.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I did try it myself and I got the ICS 213 button up there, which was a little bit of a surprise because in my email exchanges during the week, someone had told me that the current version didn't have the ICS 213. But when I logged in today, it said, do you want to update? And I said, yes. And it updated and I found the 213 in there. But when I click on it, nothing happens.
So Anne reported to me that she was unable to send the ICS 213 from her Mac using whatever crossover thing you guys did. And so I cannot speak to that because I don't use a Mac. So Sebastian or Karen, can you speak to that?
Macs are witchcraft to me, so I leave that to Karen.
Okay, let me just.
I actually do not have Winlink set up on my Mac.
Oh, okay.
No worries. I'll work on it and I'll figure it out. I assumed I wouldn't even be able to select it, but I could select it. It just didn't work. So I'll figure it out and get back to you.
So maybe we can play with that tomorrow, Lisa. Go ahead and bring your computer.
Will do.
Also, Anne was able to send it as an attachment, which we haven't even talked about sending attachments yet, but she sent it as an attachment and it came through. So that may just be a workaround, but again, I don't know since I don't use Mac.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I used my favorites, and it's been months, and the path to it needed to be updated basically. So that's what I did. They kind of moved those forms around once in a while, so I had to go in like you did the path and just reestablish that path again, and I was able to use the template.
Great, that's great. Okay. I want to show you one other thing that I found fascinating. I went by the.
Roberta, we have 2 more hands up, I think.
Oh, I can't.
Rick has a hand up.
Okay, I can't see.
And so does Deborah.
Deborah.
So regarding the attaching the forms and whatnot for us Mac people, I couldn't get Wine to work, so I installed Pat, and I found the thing that said, if one can get hold of the XML files, then you can edit them and the body of the message, and it totally acts just like the template thing here. I mean, it's more of a nuisance on your side generating it. So if anyone's tried that, and then sort of second part of that question, if anyone who's comfortable with knows what an XML file is.
Deborah, you were cutting in and out quite a bit. So I think you moved your head probably from your microphone. But I think you said you wanted to know about the XML file in a Mac. I don't know that we're not really talking Macs that much here, but if anybody knows the answer, feel free to chime in.
They're XML files, and this can be a side thing, or maybe people are interested, we can swap email, because it is very much a Mac Pat thing. So just to put that out there for later follow.
Yeah,
So-
XML. Sorry, go ahead, Bill.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say XML files are just basically files that contain information, but they're in like a markup language that basically makes it easy to kind of field which value is in which field. So it's like basically a big text file, but everything that's in there is basically bracketed by whatever option it is. So they're pretty common for most things. In fact, like Microsoft uses them all the time for most things, but yeah, I haven't used Pat, so I don't know specifically for Pat what the XML file would look like.
Oh, super quick. The thing I found online said that the guy who was describing it used his WinLink Express on a Windows machine, grabbed the XML file that WinLink Express generates to do this favorite form, and then just grabbed that file, handed it over to he was using a Raspberry Pi. So again, later discussion, but if someone who has WinLink Express would be willing to grab some of those files and then just email them to people, and we can play with editing them if there's other MacPat people besides me and Ralph. But that's getting technical, so let's save that for later.
You can definitely download this directly from Winlink. The XML files are provided separately off Winlink Express, actually. I'll send a link in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay, it's all great to me. Any other, Rick, do you have your hand up? I can actually see.
I was just going to say I couldn't, Sebastian might have just answered my question. I couldn't get it to work on a Mac at all. It wouldn't download. I couldn't get WinLink Express to unarchive in the download files.
Hey, Rick, this is Lisa. If you send me an email, I can send you the instructions I used to get it working under crossover.
Okay, great. I don't have your email, so
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that.
I have a question for Roberta.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Okay. I did the shortcut. I just did ICS 213. And then I went to Template Manager, and when looking for it under W6AJR, that's my call sign, template, and I don't see anything there. Am I looking in the wrong folder? Is it supposed to be there?
Roberta, you're muted.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Let's go back. Let me show you. There are two different places that you can save your templates. And the one that I showed you in detail with the PowerPoint was these across the top.
Right.
And that's the only place they reside. If you want to go to, you want to have another reservoir of more templates that aren't your super favorite, you can save them under your name here. But that's a different method.
Okay.
And I got all turned around trying to do a PowerPoint for it. And so I was going to save it for next week.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, so there are two places. So I'm glad you brought that up, Patrick. You will not see those four in here. I saved these for my NorCal and my Session EOSDs. I could put more in there if I could figure out how to do it, because I did it 2 years ago.
Okay, thank you.
If somebody knows right off the bat quickly how to do it, maybe Vince does. Vince has his hand up. Go ahead, Vince.
I have my hand up because I have a question.
Okay, go ahead. We'll move on. I'll have it for you next week.
Oh, it's just real quick. I made some contacts, but I don't see them show up in the context window in the lower left. I'm missing something about how they get displayed in that area.
Yes, Joe Marie, would you like to answer that question? Joe Marie learned what had to be done.
Yeah, I had the same question. It's under settings and you select preferences and you select the box that says automatically add contact entry to destination.
Yeah, I have it on the
then any further sessions you have, it will start capturing it. It won't do it historically. It didn't pull in anybody I had sent to before.
That was it.
Right.
Thanks.
Great. Did that answer your question?
It did. I see them now. Thank you.
Great. Okay, Rick, do you have your hand up again? Or did you just not put it down? I think he's clicking. I don't know. Rick? Okay. Let me just show you a couple. As I was going to tell you that when I went to the county EOC a couple weeks ago, and John and I were chatting, and I was looking over their protocols, I saw this ICS 309 communication log. And so what's that? So I started playing with that. And that's pretty cool. I keep a manual log. I didn't even realize that you could do a log in Winlink that shows your communications. So you click on that. That was from message and then generate 309. And you can choose, you know, do you want to see a list of everything you've sent, everything you've received? What do you want? Well, I don't want to know everything I read. I just want to know what came in my inbox and what was sent, let's say. And I want to do it, let's say, from March 1st to now. We'll just do that. And if I do this wrong, Karen, let me know. I don't want to, do I want a separate entry or combine? Well, let's see what happens. We'll just do it and we'll find out. All right. Whoops, how do I get down here? So I'm going to hit generate. Oh, I think I have to tell it where I'm going to go. Right. Nod your head, Karen. I have to tell it where it's going. Okay, I'm going to say, I'll just put it on the desktop. Oh, looks like I've done this before. Okay, then we'll put it here. I think it knows a PDF. Okay, it's a PDF. It must know the type. Nod your head, Karen. Or no?
Click on the PDF button. It'll make a PDF.
Well, no. Oh, down here?
Yeah, you don't have to.
Oh, okay. I thought I had to do it first.
No.
Okay.
No, just you can go ahead and just hit. You do have to specify the file path.
That's what I thought.
Hit browse, hit save.
Okay, I don't have to tell it it's a PDF. Okay.
And then hit generate.
All right. Let's see what I've been doing. And it does take a few minutes, but it's very cool. Okay. Let's go look at it. Exit. Now I have to find it. Oh, I can't find it because I took my, darn you, Sebastian. You told me to take my things off so it would be pretty. All right, so documents. This is a long path. Sorry, folks.
Don't be too worried about your desktop. That's what mine looks like too.
I know. Well, I wasn't. Sebastian was very worried. So, all right. Sorry, I have a lot of stuff. If I'd have known we were going to do this, I would have just put a link. But you'll see. Oh, that's for WS. Oh, that's all right. That's for TUWS for the city, but this is the one we just created. I'm going to have to move this out of the way. And there we go. So, oh, I didn't fill out all my stuff up here. You're supposed to fill all that out. So yeah, that was those blank spots. You have to fill out your operational period and all that. But I just mainly wanted you to see the form, and it's new to me as well. So, oh my goodness, 7 pages. I've been a busy girl. So you can see, you know, NorCal WinLink, this is the American Legion post, etc. So any questions about that? Hearing none.
I have a comment about it.
Sure.
This is one of our standard ICS forms, and it's just a really, really handy feature of WinLink that you can generate them so quickly. It saves a ton of paperwork, and I know how much everybody just loves doing paperwork. But it does parse through your WinLink messages to identify messages to put onto the 309 form. So if you delete things, they're not going to show up on your logs. So please make sure to export your logs before you purge things out of your mailbox if you're, working during an incident and we need those logs.
Got it. So I never purge anything. So I don't have to worry, but eventually you can fill up your computer, I guess, if you do as many as you see I did since March 1st. All right, any other questions about that? I thought I would just move on to nets since we were kind of going to talk about that tonight too, but we can talk about anything you want to. Hearing no other ideas, let's just talk about Winlink nets. So it's all well and good to have Winlink and the capability to send these emails and all that, and you get excited and you want to practice with a bunch of templates and you don't know who to send them to. You want to deluge Sebastian with templates when he's in the middle of a work crisis and he can't answer you or something like that. It's like, do I want to dump all this on one person? I don't know. So it's really fun to find places who welcome your traffic, and some do not. So I just want to make sure to be aware that not everybody wants 50 Winlink messages a week. And I found that out the hard way. So, and then I also found out because I had sent, I was sending my usual routine of many messages to various places. And one group came back and said, please limit your messages, you're clogging up our system. So I don't check into their net anymore. If I do, I just send one. But then other ones want any and all messages. And I would say that would be the last one I'm going to talk about, my favorite one. So let's talk about places where you can send your traffic. They'll let you know they received it. They may give you instructions on how to do it differently, etc. So here are a couple of nets that are very easy that allow you to do just telnet if you don't have your radio going yet. The Florida Winlink net is very welcoming, but I'm going to warn you, with any of these nets, be prepared to sit and read for at least 5 to 10 minutes, read the instructions. I only captured a tiny bit of it here, just to give you the idea of what's on there. But the address and the place to go is w4akh.net, and then read their information, write down the information you need. The subject line, the to and the subject line is very important. That's the main stuff that they want. And your mode, that's on your subject line. And so they're very welcoming. They'll take as many as you want to send. You can practice doing different forms, different templates, weather images, pictures, all kinds of things. So that's one. I can't even see what's down below because this thing's in the way. The Klamath Aries net. So that is an aries.org net. Telnet is okay. And when I got this message from another group, which I'm not going to say who it was in another state, I sent to the 4 nets that I was in, asking them how many check-ins do they want, do they want multiple or just one or what? And Klamath Aries told me 2 to 3 check-ins is fine per week in different modes. So if you're doing telnet, just do one, because the mode is the type of device you're sending it on. So, or VARA HF, VARA FM, packet, VHF packet, UHF packet, all those different modes. Those are all options. And so anyway, Klamath, they're a good group, and they have a great RMS station for HF anyway. And so they're very happy to accept your check-ins, 2 or 3 a week. So if you want to get real crazy, how do I get this to go to the next? Why is it not going? Why am I not going? Oh, there we go. All right, here are some more challenging nets. You got your board with just doing the plain old simple telnet check-in or whatever. The mcomtraining.org net is really good, and I've only just recently started doing it. I've been reading it for like 4 months until I finally got up the courage to actually do it. It can be very complex, but the instructions are very detailed. So there's the information on that. And it has a specific time period. So that's the other thing you want to check whenever you're doing a net. Don't send it to them on Sunday if it says Wednesday, 4 p.m. to midnight Thursday, because they're going to get ticked off that they're getting all this traffic and they're not prepared for it. So they may have multiple people checking these in. All right, now for my personal favorite is the American Legion Post 42 Winlink net in Kentucky, of all places. Their group their Winlink net is Tuesday through Sunday. And then on Monday, they compile all of their information. They send out the next week's net instructions. Their instructions are very thorough, but you need to read them, in detail. And the fun thing about this, if you have any kind of a competitive spirit, they award points. You get points for using the template. You get points for following the directions. You get points for having a perfect message. And let me tell you, if you miss a comma or you put an extra space, you don't get that point. So they're super nice and helpful and very great. They do mapping. Then they send you an email about the notification of the points everybody got and all of that. How about questions about doing Winlink nets? Surely we have some questions on that. That was what made it so fun for me, made Winlink fun. Dawn.
I was looking at the American Legion one. I've been copying down and making bookmarks, but the American Legion one looks like it says it can't add any more members. I'm already a groups.io member, so I don't know, maybe they got full.
Oh no.
It is read only, and they do have the tiny URL that you can look at there. So I don't know, maybe there's something they're doing with that.
Well, they do get like 750 messages, and I'm like 50 or 60 of them. So poor guy.
They're like, we're done.
George, he's a great guy. And you know what? I bet I could talk him into taking somebody from our group if somebody really wanted. I bet I could talk him into it. Florida, I know, is taking new people because they said share this link with others and all of that. So I know Florida's doing it. And MCOM, I'm pretty sure anybody is welcome. Any amateur radio license holder is welcome to join that one as well. And I find that is, I have that in my groups.io as well. And that's a handier way to look at it, I think.
Yeah, I'm on that one as well, and already, and I just have been too chicken to check in because I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I didn't want to mess anything up. So,
well, at the beginning, when I first started checking in, I wasn't clear because they call it Winlink Thursdays. Does that mean you can only do it on Thursday? And I wasn't sure. But lately, they have been posting Wednesday, 4 p.m. to midnight Thursday. So, but you should look each time and make sure that's still the case. And Joe Marie got on the map last week. Woohoo! Actually, 2 weeks, I think, Joe Marie. Yeah, Joe Marie, can you just speak a little bit to that one?
Like you already said, the instructions you have to read line by line, but they are really helping me understand the different forms that are out there and the form capabilities. One time it was a hospital, laundry list of things to do. And then this last week was a special form you had to upload into Winlink. And it basically ran you through a set of prompts to answer. And so each week is different, and that's what I kind of so far am enjoying, the variety. By the way, the Wednesday to midnight Thursday is UTC time, so it's a 24-hour block of time. It's just the way we are on the West Coast. That's how it translates for the time frame.
So is it not 4 p.m. then? Is it midnight?
It is 4 p.m. for us, but if we were back east, it would be a whole different period of time. It's 24 hours.
Okay.
It's just how the time goes.
So that bears looking into more closely.
Well,
said,
like
that's
you
another
said, and at first they didn't have that in the instructions, and that's where I was like, oh, I don't know. So then once they started putting that, I felt a little bit more comfortable thinking I was doing it right. And so far I've been on the map, so that means I was doing it right.
Yeah, it's very gratifying to see the map and see all these people all over, and you're one of them. And there's sort of a feeling of community with it, I think. Anybody else want to share any? Does anybody else do Winlink nets?
NorCal Winlink net?
Yeah, NorCal Winlink.
Yes, NorCal and Cessna. I wasn't sure if they were open to all amateur radios or not.
It's Northern California.
So
we're in Northern California. I don't know.
Well, they
took all your reports. I'm looking at your report from February, and so I don't know if there's a limitation.
Okay, so next week I will bring the link. I will check on that first because I need to make sure that they don't want the Northern California one or the California Emergency Services net to be.
The CESN is usually for EOCs and served agencies, but NorCal is not a served agency. So yeah, give it a shot.
Okay, yeah, I sure didn't ask anybody.
Okay, great. Then that's another one. And Karen, did you have anything to say about that?
No, that's my understanding. NorCal WinLink net is open to all, but the CESN net is indeed a closed WinLink net.
So the address is NorCal WinLink. Well, you can just put in NorCal WinLink and Google and find it probably.
Yeah, you got to get the form.
Yeah, the form is in the template.
Right, it was on my thing as well. All right,
Roberta,
yes.
Could I make a request? If you send me all these links in an email, I'll just send them out to the group and they'll have them without having to copy them down by hand or
did
go through the slides. Oh, perfect.
I sent you the PDF of this sheet. It's a PDF sheet with these 4 links on it.
I'll send out the set to the group then.
Yeah, and I did not include a link for the American Legion one because I do it in groups.io, but now he's saying they're not taking new members, so don't need the link. But I will check on that as well. I'll send George an email.
There's a lot of information on the groups.io sign up page, and there's a bunch of links to things. So maybe they're just doing it differently. They just can't do the groups.io anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. I will check. Anybody else? Let's see. I'm going to escape. How do I escape? There we go. Oh, I had one more. What's that? Oh, that's the tiny URL. This is for this week's. Apparently, I was just going to show you how they give instructions. Vince, you have your hand up.
Real quick, if you could go back to where you select templates, like when you're creating a new message, I have a question for you.
Sure. To move this out of the way. New message here.
Yep, and then select template. And you see, for you have, it looks like you can expand on global templates and AJ6 CAN templates. Where are the global templates coming from? Because I don't seem to have I have nothing to expand when I click on global templates.
So I'm going to give you a very rudimentary explanation, and then I'll let somebody with more knowledge give you the details. But my understanding is that global templates is a place to save local modified templates that you want to use locally or yourself. You don't want them to go out to everybody, so you don't want to save it in standard because that goes to everybody. So that's as much about global as I know, is to not, like when we did our Fireworks 50, this race tracker form here, that was one that we got and put in global to use for Fireworks 50. Sebastian, maybe you can talk about that since you're the one that did that.
Yeah, so if you download some of the templates that they have, so the that you see there was getting really unwieldy over time. So the Winlink people actually reduced it to a smaller.
We lost you, Sebastian. Sebastian.
And just like that, my Zoom died.
Okay, there we go. You said they reduced it.
Yeah, so they reduced it, and a bunch of things that were not as critical, like the race tracker, were put on their website. And if you import that, it actually ends up in global templates that you can use that are across different users. So I think, Roberta, if you switch into your husband's account, you should see the same ones, while the ones in the one with your call sign, those are only visible to you. I think that's the difference between those two folders.
Ah. Okay, so they don't want you putting this back in the standard templates, though. They don't want you saving into standard templates, correct?
Yeah, this is something that you added to your account for the use by people on your machine.
Right. Oh, on my machine. Okay.
And if you put it into the one with your name in it, then it's only for you, and your husband wouldn't get to see it.
Yeah, because my templates are not showing up under his name, his ID.
Good, because they're yours.
Yeah. That's right. I don't want him sending stuff to Sesson, right? All right. Any other comments, questions? Got a few minutes left.
It looks like Vince has his hand up.
Oh, Vince. Yes.
No, that's only because I didn't put my hand down.
Oh,
okay. Joe Marie has her hand up now.
Joe Marie.
Okay. Is there a way to set up Winlink that will look the same on different machines or computers? You know, I have a laptop and I have a regular computer, and I would like to have it all show the same in both. You know, so if I download, you know, messages on my computer, my laptop will show that as well. I'm not finding it that way.
Yeah, that's a good question. I did discover that with the city EOC, because during COVID, I brought it, you know, over onto my laptop. And so I have all of this information. But when I went to the EOC last week in person, the stuff I downloaded, I'm not sure it was there. Aaron?
I would not expect it to be there. Maybe Sebastian has some more to say about this, but in order to do that, Winlink would have to keep copies of all your information on a central server, or else have your computer always on and connected to the internet at least. And so when you download a message, my understanding is it just comes off the central server and into the particular machine you downloaded it into. And it's not like Gmail or Outlook or whatever, where you can just keep the messages on the remote server forever.
It doesn't keep them on the server. You're right.
Yeah.
It's more like what email was back in the day.
Back in the day. That's what I thought, but I thought I'd ask.
Think of it as a paper email. You know, you get it in your mailbox, but it doesn't go to all your mailboxes, just the one place.
So what you can do is you can export your local database and carry that with you, but I don't think that's something that you really want to do. It's not designed for that purpose, so I would stay away from that.
No, it was more the addresses or the, you know, if I got caught without my list of call signs and things like that, you know, then how can I manage that, you know, type of thing.
I believe there is a way to export your address book and import it on your other machine.
Okay.
I'm looking at this right now.
Don't ask me off the top of my head particularly what that is, but I do believe that you can move those across.
If you go to your address book, like on the contacts, there's a contacts editor that pops up. It has an import-export button that you can use.
Are we talking here? Right here?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so let me back up so we can do it together. So I clicked on contacts. Here's an import-export. and then I can import contacts or I can export contacts to a file. And then you could go to your other computer and do the opposite.
Yeah. Okay.
And I need to
Also-
clean this up because let me just show you some bad stuff in my contacts list. You see it says Joe Marie. That did not go through to Joe Marie. You have to have her call sign, right? Duh. So I'm going to remove this one.
Oh, just put me out to pasture.
Yeah, but I've got your call sign in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I fixed it. And I got a message back from Winlink saying that did not go through. You know, try it again, do it differently. And I went, duh. So trust me, if there's a mistake that could be made, I have made it. So you are not alone. Anybody that thinks you are, you're not alone. Probably made every mistake that there is to be made. All right. I just want to show you, I don't know if you can see this or not. Okay, this is my manual log that I keep. You probably can't read it, but you get a gist. This book is where I keep all of my Winlink contacts for my nets. And I keep them by date, and I have the detail of which day each net I can check in and all that. So it's a good idea, even though you can go in and get that information from Winlink there, because I do many different modes, and I don't want to send, repetitive emails to a net. I want to make sure if I'm sending an 80 meters and I'm doing 5 of them, they're 5 different RMSs. So I write them down so that I don't repeat. So just kind of wanted to put that little tip out. All right, more questions.
One more thing about, can I just comment?
Yep.
Because I just did a little bit of exploring. Try going to settings. And now at the bottom, backup and restore databases, click on that. And see down near the bottom, there's a restore to. I don't know where the backups go. Don't actually do it.
I'm not clicking it, trust me.
There's a, next to the thing that says UTC, there's a time and date stamp. Click on that down arrow, and you'll see that you can restore your Winlink system to any number of times and dates in the past. The backup interval is set up above, and they expire the old backups after 10 days. So if we knew where those backups went, we would be able to copy one of those onto something like a flash drive and presumably restore it into some other computer. I haven't done any of this. This is just what I think is likely to be capable of happening.
Okay, Bill, you have an assignment for next week.
Okay, and anybody else who wants to experiment with this, feel free.
Bill, that's what I was talking about. That should be possible, but I don't think that the mechanism is really designed to do that, and you still would have to copy files over and not mess them up. So there in CRMS Express INI backup, there you find the timestamped files that it actually writes the data onto.
Okay. Anyhow, if you want to play with it, or I can try playing with it, it may be possible to move your entire state from one machine to another with that.
I just tested it, and it gives me one little dialogue. It says, your backup was successful. That was it.
But where to?
Very helpful. Now I have to go look for it.
So I want to show you how far I got with the personal folders thing.
Okay.
You can have different folders to store your mail, and you can add personal folders, but that's not the same as your call sign folder, because I think that Winlink automatically gives you one with your call sign on it. But you can also, let's make one up and see where it shows up. So I'm going to add a personal folder, and let's see if where that goes, my inbox or my, let's see if it comes here. Nope, it doesn't come there. So that's
right there under
Right under
personal
personal
folders.
folders.
Where?
Lower.
Right
Down,
there.
down, down,
Lower,
down,
lower.
down, down.
There.
There.
Up.
Oh, right there. Okay. Something to play with. I'm looking in the wrong spot. So I guess that's going to be my InMail if I want to save stuff for my Winlink class. Let's try it,
Maybe
you
like
guys.
your net
if you
check-in stuff, or
maybe, well, if I called it Winlink class. So if you guys send me some mail this week, I'll see if I can save it to that folder, and then we can kind of see how that works, if that's how it works.
You
So we're
already
learning
have
this together.
the location report that you asked for earlier should be in your inbox if you pull.
I didn't have anything in my, oh, it's probably in Mark's inbox. Let's see. Maybe I need to do a session. No.
No, I sent it to you, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, I see you sent it. I thought it was, oh, I have to close this in order. Oh, there's still another one open. I still have to close this. Okay. So let's change me here. Open a session. I'm going to download check messages. And I have I have 3 received and 1 sent. And you notice I clicked on the X before it said disconnected. It said didn't disconnect. You have to wait till it says disconnected. All right, so which one is my? This is from Sebastian. Spreadsheet copy and paste is located at the bottom. That's not it, right, Sebastian?
No, but if you look at the message, open it in the message itself.
This one?
Yeah. And then.
You want me to view attachments?
No. Sorry. Sorry. Go back. If you go to it, it says move to on the top in the menu, right by open session left of it. You can say where it says saved items. You can use the drop down and put in Winlink class, for example. And then you hit move to, and it moves it there into that folder that you just created.
Okay, so I'm going to put this in there. Yeah, so we can practice that. Okay.
So you just hit the move to button and it will move it, right? This thing.
Right. I usually do it like that. I say move to folder selected above. There's probably an easier way, but that's the way I do it. So now it's gone out of here and now it's in my Winlink class. And let's see what this one is.
So if you do a map, you should see the point that you were looking at that earlier, right?
Oh, right. So I'm going to go to, is it under, no, it's under messages. Where's the map? This map? This one?
Yes.
And I can just click on display map? Oh, no,
yep.
I have to tell it what I'm looking for, don't I? Oh, no, there we are. So there's AJ6KN and there's KE6A.
That's because you looked at the weather
You were
folder.
looking at a different form.
See that drop down? See there, if you look for the Winlink check-in.
There we go. Thank you. You guys are so patient. Display map. There we go. We've got KK6FBF, AJ6KN, and KE68. Well, he's just a weather guy. I don't know why he must have done a check-in report. Oh, he sent me a check-in report, I think, in the last 25 days. All right, I think we've just about filled our brains here.
Could we do a thing where we send you, a check-in for this
Absolutely.
week? And then we can all do that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Sure. Send me the check-in with your position report.
Sure.
And then we'll pull up a map next week and see where everybody is, now that I know how to do it. Any other questions, suggestions, requests, comments? Bill, I'll turn it over to you, our host with the most.
Well, I just had one comment, and that was several people are using Macs, and I know Lisa has offered to help with that. I think that it may be useful for just the Mac users to get together at some point during the next week and share experiences and so forth. I could probably set up Zoom. I'm going to say on the weekend rather than during the week. If anybody's interested, just mail me and we can all go through this together. Or just send email back and forth to each other as you choose. But I think I'd like to try to support the Mac users because Macs, contrary to Sebastian's comment, are not black magic or witchcraft. Windows was built by Rube Goldberg. So anyhow, that's pretty much it for me. And
I have another question.
Go ahead.
I was wondering if is everybody that's on this Zoom, was everybody able to get registered and has a Winlink address? And Nana does. Okay, good. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. But some of you don't have your call signs in there. So let's see. I'm trying to figure. I would like to make a group contact list with our folks, everybody who's here. So if you could just put your call sign and your name in the chat, I'll have everybody's name and call sign, and then I can set up a group contacts list so I can email everybody that wants to be in on it that's in our class.
Roberta, I have a full list of the email addresses of everybody who's signed up for the class,
right,
including one late sign up. So I can send that to you rather than having everybody enter.
No, because not everybody has a Winlink address. I want to know everybody that's on Winlink. Yeah.
Okay.
I know everybody's regular email address, but I want to know everyone who has a Winlink address so that if I send a group email, it will go out and won't bounce.
Okay.
If I've already sent you a Winlink message, you don't need mine, right? You already have it?
I'll just write it down. But it would be helpful because it did not go into my Winlink classroom. I have to go search for it. It would be helpful if you put it down, then I can write them all down and we'll have them. I'm not very high tech.
Aren't they all just call sign at winlink.org?
They are. I just need your call sign. I just want a list of the people with their calls that just like you're doing. Stefan call sign, Jan, perfect. And that means you've gotten registered in Winlink. So you can at least do Telnet. That's all I want to know.
I meant to do that.
And it is.
Send it to Roberta. I sent mine to everyone.
That's fine. Everybody did. Yeah. Everybody sent it to everyone. That's fine. Our call signs are not secret. Yeah. Okay. It is 9 o'clock. Anybody that wants to leave, go for it. I'm going to sit here and write down call signs. And so don't close the thing on me. Dan,
okay.
I need to talk
I'll tell you what, Roberta, I'll make you the host.
Okay, that's great.
Let's see, how do I do that? I used to know how to do that.
Roberta, you might be able to just copy and paste, highlight and paste.
No, Roberta, you can just save the chat by clicking on the 3 buttons on the bottom right and say save chat.
Right.
3 buttons on bottom right?
Of the chat box.
Yeah, open the chat box and then there's 3 where it says to the address, there's 3 dots to the far side. You can click that and you say save chat and it'll ask where to save it.
You know, I can just write them down, you guys. It's fine. I can just write them down because by the time I do,
I'll save it and email it to you.
Okay, but don't turn me off, Bill.
I just made you the host.
Okay, that's fine.
So
and everybody else can leave. I'll just sit here by myself writing down calls.
Thank you so much,
I can probably talk and write at the same time if anybody wants to talk to me, but I'm not offended if you leave. Steve.
I'm gonna go then. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye and thanks.
And I'm going to stop. Oh, the recording did stop. Interesting.
It says it's still recording on my side.
Mine says
my-
recording still.
Oh, okay. Because you're the host. You're the one who has to stop the recording
Then I
now.
need to stop it. Okay. Stop video, stop. There. I want to
Stop
stop recording to the